Okay, so my coworker tells me I should be afraid to make this video in case they come after me, but I'm not afraid. Let's go for it. Have you ever heard of the chicken wackers? My name is Haley and I work for a podcast called Otherworld, and we had also not heard of the chicken wackers until we got an email from a guy who said that his brother had come into contact with a group of people that he referred to as the chicken wackers when he was homeless and made his way to Grand Junction, Colorado. The brother in question is Keegan, and this is his friend Grant, who is also in the story. And that's his dog Skinny. Basically, Keegan gets to Grand Junction and is immediately confronted by some of the other unhoused people that are living there. And they tell him to beware of a group called the chicken wackers because they're involved in human sacrifice, rituals, worship of the devil, and things like that. Now, Keegan knows that sometimes these people aren't in the right mind, and he mostly ignores it. He's heard this kind of stuff before, but he's not worried. But eventually, he meets up with Grant, and they decide to skip town. But when they try and do that, they start being followed by a strange group of people, which causes them to leave the railroad tracks and venture in the night through Grand Junction, Colorado, leading to them having extremely disturbing experiences, including seeing cloaked figures underneath a bridge, a shape-shifting type of person in a tree that's half invisible. He says that he sees the bushes turn into screaming human faces. Mind you, they are completely sober at this point. And to top it all off, they're experiencing some kind of psychological warfare where something is in their mind telling them that one of them isn't going to make it through the night. But never has he felt something like something talking to himself that wasn't him within his own head, telling him about how horrible of a person he was and how he was destroying the land around him. It made him go in so far as to feel like he might have to unalive himself to get rid of the voice in his head. Never has he ever heard voices before or after this experience, and he has been psychologically evaluated. Look, listen to the whole story yourself and make a judgment. That's Chicken Wackers episode 1 and 2, wherever you get your podcasts. But it's not just them that are telling these stories. If you look up chicken wackers, there's plenty of people talking about this on Reddit. But this is Grand Junction, Colorado. I mean, it's a beautiful, quaint town. We spoke with a reporter that used to live in Grand Junction that actually covered a news story that had to do with the chicken wackers. One of them being that somebody set fire to a bed in an inn, and when they were arrested, they were telling the police that they were doing it as a result of psychological warfare by the so-called chicken wackers, who he said the night before had taken a young child into the desert and ritually sacrifice them. Now, there was no child ever even reported missing, so there's this absolute conjecture. This is from a Reddit thread about chicken wackers. This guy claims to have come into contact with them directly. He says, "I'm not sure if what the beings the cult worships is an alien life form or a spirit. All I know is that once you find out about them, you'll start realizing that it's almost part of that land. Like, even the plants look like they have faces. Until I left Grand Junction recently, I thought I was going insane. But I wasn't going insane. Whatever group of beings are on that land, they are everywhere." I think the immediate reaction of saying something it has to do with Satan worshipping is of jumping the gun a lot of the time, and I find it really interesting, the idea that these might be kind of just like shape-shifting beings that live around this land. Then again, there's plenty of evidence, like this person says, that it's more to do with a substance abuse ring, that has to do with also human trafficking and very much more real world issues here than shapeshifters or, native land spirits. By all accounts, though, they do engage in some kind of psychological warfare on the people of Grand Junction, Colorado. There is even a court case where the chicken wackers are mentioned from Grand Junction, Colorado, and in it, the man says that he is basically an agent of God and he was working against somebody who was in the chicken wackers and involved in satanic worship and sacrifice. Now look, take what you will from this story, make your own judgments, whatever. Look it up on your own. If you do come across the phone number that somebody posted to Reddit where they say, if you want to know about the chicken wackers, text me and I'll tell you all about it. I don't recommend going for that. However, if you guys want me to reach out, I might be willing to do so. Let's see how this video does.